Good morning, everyone. My name is Cristina Tuturiga, and today I would like to present my bachelor thesis. The title is Animal Testing in Cosmetic Industry, Ethics, Consumption, and the Rise in Consumer Concerns. You would wonder why I chose this topic. Ethical consumerism is one of the fastest growing trends in purchasing decisions globally. Animal welfare is among the top ethical concerns cited in academic literature. Despite that, I still found a literature gap that shows that no prior study focuses specifically on consumer behavior around cruelty-free cosmetic. That's why this paper wants to fill that gap. The main research question is, how do ethical attitudes and moral consciousness influence purchasing behavior towards cruelty-free cosmetics? The methodology that I used was a quantitative cross-sectional online survey that I made with Google Forms, made out of 20 questions spread into 4 thematic categories. After I found out the results, I used an IMB SPSS analysis. The sample was made of 103 valid responses. The majority were females aged between 18 and 24, largely from Romania. The research objectives. I had one general objective and 5 specific objectives. The general objective was to investigate consumers' ethical attitudes and purchasing behavior relating to animal testing in cosmetics. The 5 specific objectives were knowledge and awareness of cruelty-free products among cosmetics consumers, ethical attitudes towards animal testing, moral acceptability, and animal welfare, economic factors, willingness to pay more and brand loyalty, corporate and governmental responsibility, trust in regulation and technology, and the role of social media and internet in shaping ethical awareness. The theoretical framework was spread into 6 different categories. The first one, ethics and ethical consumerism, was what made me read the Shaw and Clark's paper from 1999 that says that buying is usually guided by social, environmental, and moral values. The CSR and business ethics were shaped in Carroll's paper in 1991 that says that economic, legal, ethical, and philanthropic responsibilities are also a main factor when a person is purchasing something, especially in cosmetic industry. Animal testing alternatives are very popular, especially since the European Union Commission that was in 2013 that says that in vitro cells, computer models, and human tissues are often more predictable, so they can be used as animal testing alternatives. European Union regulation starts to be very strict when it comes to testing on animals. It all started in 1993 when it was the first ban on animal test finished cosmetics. It's also, we can see like 2 other bans in 2004 and 2009, and the last one it was in 2013 that it was a main market ban on animal tested cosmetics. The cruelty-free and consumer behavior. The attitude behavior gap shows that values don't always translate to purchase. That's what Follows and Jober said in their paper in the year 2000. Social media and awareness starts to be very, very popular amongst especially millennials due to PETA campaigns that are on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Twitter, where they can see it. The methodology, as I said before, I use a quantitative cross-sectional survey with a positivist approach. The sample was simple 103 valid responses that I got in the year this year, 2026 in May. I got this data using Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. As I said, there were 20 questions in my online survey that I made via Google Forms that were shaped in 4 thematic sections. The analysis that I used was IMB SPSS analysis, as I said, descriptive statistics, chi-square, Kendall-Stau-B, and Fisher exact test. The respondent profile, as I said before, 103 responses. Out of them, 79.6% were female responders, 65% of it were aged between 18 and 24, 53.4% were from Romania, and in total combined between the ages of 18 and 34 were like 86.4% of them. Awareness and knowledge. we obtained three different stuffs here. The familiar with cruelty-free before the survey was very, very popular. That's 69.9%. How people and if people check the packaging at least sometimes was like 65%, and aware of specific brands that test on animals was 51.5%. After I did a chi-square test, that shows the prior awareness towards labor checking behavior was that those who knew that the term were far from likely to check the packaging. Like they shows that 31% always check the packages and 53.5 check it sometimes, while 75.9 of those unaware never checked. The knowledge is very, very prior here. The attitude behavior shows a gap that 69.9 knew, yet 32% never checked the packaging. Ethical attitudes. That's related to the specific objective number 2. People were asked two different questions here. Is animal testing necessary for cosmetic safety, and animals should not be or should be used for cosmetic experiments? Here should not be used. Sorry. Here, people had to answer from strongly disagree to strongly agree, and we can see that a lot of people strongly agree that animals should not be used in cosmetic experiments. So 80.5 agree that animals should not be used for cosmetic experiments. That's a mean of 4.26 out of 5, and 49.5 accepted that that testing animals is more valid for medicine only. Purchasing behavior and brand values. Here, we can see that 72.8 would pay more for a cruelty-free product, while 70.9 see cruelty-free product as premium quality. 81.6 would stop buying a brand if they found out that that brand is testing on animals. After I did the Candle Tau B result, I can see that ethical attitudes is very much in a strong connection with brand value alignment, because Tau B that I found is 0.404, that's less than 0.001, so it's a very, very significant. That means that if they see that a brand is aligned with their ethical values, they are going to purchase that brand more. But it does not mean that when a brand aligns with them, they are going to pay immediately more, because the tau b that I found here, it's not significant. So the attitude behavior, it's showing that a gap that is confirmed here. When it comes to policy and regulatory perspective, that's related to specific objective number 4, people were asked about consumer support for policy measurements and who has the most power to stop animal testing. And here I was impressed by the fact that people find it almost like equal when it comes to these three categories that I put. 35% of them thinks that the government is the most responsible of this. 33% thinks that consumers are the most responsible. Meanwhile, 32 thinks that the company is. That it shows that we need the progress that requires government, companies, and consumers to act together. After around the Fisher exact test, I can see that women are 3.3 more likely to check the packaging than men. Conclusions and implications for brands. Cruelty free, it's a premium position, definitely. 81.6 will stop buying if they found out, as I said, that they are testing on animals. For policy markets, 73.8 support a total ban. Meanwhile, 72.8 with back attacks, incisiveness. Limitations. Conceiving sampling, not fully representative. The gap between female and male and how they see this whole thing about cosmetic purchasing and self-reported attitudes may exceed real behavior. The future research that can be improved are quota sampling for balanced demographically, cross-country comparison, and longitudinal and qualitative designs. Lastly, I would like to add that The cosmetic industry is at a point where consumer expectations are running ahead of regulation in most markets. Brands that make real ethical commitments now will define the next decade of cosmetics. Thank you so much for your attention.